Hello, and thanks for taking a few minutes of your time to be with me, Brian Emerson, Managing Director of Starlight Investments. I'd like to share with you a little bit about our upcoming private equity conference as it relates to your attending or presenting your company by answering our 8 most frequently asked questions in the next 6 minutes. For more information or to register, please call me at 713-225-3028. Okay, let's get started. 1. Why does Starlight Investments co-host the conference? My day job is running an investment bank with some 20 registered representatives located around the U.S. Last year, we raised over $100 million for our clients, who are companies typically with a minimum annual EBITDA of $3.5 million. This conference, that we co-host with Mike and David Siegel of MJ Siegel Associates, allows us to introduce ourselves to and to get to know many great early-stage companies that, we hope, will consider using our investment banking services in the future. 2. What types of investors are likely to attend? The accredited investor attendee list includes professionals from investment funds, small institutions, hedge funds, private equity firms, family offices, and venture capitalist firms, as well as a few angel investors. Many people are in 2 categories, such as being both an accredited individual investor as well as a manager of an investment fund. Attendees are primarily from the New York Eastern Seaboard region, but a few come from major financial centers around the world. 3. What is the day's agenda? We start registration at 11 a.m. We have a seated lunch at noon with no assigned seating, so you can sit next to people of most interest to you. We introduce the few non-presenting entrepreneur guests at about 12:30, and we begin the first presentation at 1 p.m. Each of the first 3 speakers will give a 10-minute presentation with PowerPoint to the entire audience, and will then go to breakout sessions from 1:30 until 2 p.m. Subsequent flights of 3 presenters each will start at approximately 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and 4 p.m. We then go downstairs to the tap room or library for about 2 hours of additional networking with wine, cheese, and live music. The overview presentation is like a first date. Your time would not be well spent delivering a much longer speech to a room full of investors, only some of whom might be interested in your particular industry or deal size. Rather, you want to attract those people to come and talk to you one-on-one. That is when you make appointments and assess a real fit. We do not do any question and answer sessions from the podium either, since you want questions from people who are seriously interested in your project and deserve a thoughtful and personalized answer. 4. What is the difference between a non-presenting entrepreneur guest attendee and a presenting company? Presenters tend to be mid-stage, private or public companies that either have an offering in the market now or want to develop relationships with savvy investors for the future. They are likely seeking institutional or professional investors. While many of the presenters tend to classify themselves in general as information technology companies, the industries they represent run the gamut from oil drilling to real estate to biotechnology to financial services, among many others. Non-presenting entrepreneur guests, oftentimes pre-break-even, are generally looking for individual investors or for lesser amounts of money. 5. What do I need to do to prepare myself for the event? Presenters receive preparatory documents and professional feedback from our presentation coach, including helpful hints for publicity beforehand, networking at, and follow-up after the event. The documentation includes PowerPoint and executive summary templates. 6. Why is there a cost to attend or present? Our events, which we believe to be the highest quality, most focused conferences in the industry, are very expensive to produce. Each company's contribution towards the cost of producing such a quality event tend to be much less per introduction than similar services offered by other service professionals whose fees do not include travel, meals with potential investors, and the opportunity costs associated with time out of the office and away from the important tasks of running your business. Also, and unlike other conferences, we actively discourage non-check writers in the audience because we know that company presenters want to talk only with investors. To show their commitment to the forum, all investors, with few exceptions, pay a registration fee. This allows us to exclude the, quote, free lunch crowd, which rarely writes checks. In other words, everyone there is serious about the business of the event. We have carefully structured the all-day event with great food and ambiance. 7. How many presenters have gotten funded as a result of going to your conferences? We don't know precisely because we don't have contingent compensation agreements with them, and therefore they are not required to tell us how much they raised. We do know that companies that have presented since the fall of 2001 have raised over about $300 million based on the information that they made public from press releases or their websites. I'm sure that many of the private companies that have presented have raised money but have not made their funding successes public. 8. How do I register? Online registration is available for non-presenting entrepreneur guests and investors. To apply for one of the remaining presenter slots, please email me your executive summary to emersonb@starlightinvestments.com. For more information, call me at 713-225-3028. I hope that you can join us at the upcoming conference, and I appreciate your having taken the time to listen to this overview of the conference.